Hey there, everybody. I'm Jack, and this is Raw Tropical Living. Thanks for joining me today. Hope you all had a nice weekend out there and are ready for a really powerful week. You know, I was just realizing yesterday, I don't know why, I just tend to give y'all a little weather report from where I am every day, whether you're interested or not. But I don't need to do that anymore unless we start getting some storms this summer during the tropical season, because for the next 4 months, it's going to be hell every day. It's going to be hellacious temperatures. We're already in the upper 90s in late May, and it's not just passing through for a few days. That's for the foreseeable future. So summer's here. Today I want to give a little bit of advice for a 100% raw food diet and talk about some cooked vegan food that I like. Guys, I do videos every day, so if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, I'd appreciate it if you go down and hit that subscribe button now. Then click on the little bell and check send notifications so you'll stay subscribed to the channel. I got asked this the other day. I don't know why. I mean, people always still assume, I guess because I show mostly raw food and I eat mostly raw food, that it's almost like, it's a religion thing for me and I don't eat any cooked food. I mean, obviously for people that watch on a regular basis, you know I eat some cooked food. I've never made any bones about it. And listen, before I get started today, I'm just, like I say, I'm always trying to reiterate. When I share this information and what I'm sharing today, I'll never argue with it. I mean, I'll never argue with anybody arguing with me, because I'm not telling you what to do. I'm not telling you how to eat. I just always want to bring lots of options. That's what my channel's about. That's what my brand is about, is offering options. Because hey, let's take the whole is it or isn't it out. Let's just assume that a 100% raw food diet is the best thing for anybody to eat on the planet. Okay, if you don't agree, just assume for a minute for my point. I'm a practical person. I like to be based in reality and not just vibrating and bobbling around out there. And the reality is, I wouldn't even want to put a percentage number on that of humans on the planet that are 100% raw food diet, a fully raw food diet. That's such a minute amount. So many people fail, and so many people fail because they get so consumed in the raw part of it. Now, there ain't a lot of, let's start at the top of the chain. There's not a lot of vegans in the first place. They're growing, and vegans love to inflate the numbers, but percentage-wise, no. We got, 7, 8 billion people on this planet, and I would say at least, if it's 8 billion, at least 7 billion are not eating vegan. So we have a very small number of vegans. We have an even smaller number of people that are eating a mostly raw food diet. So it's just all about being practical, and I want to share to a larger group of people. Listen, learn how to learn. If you're all about raw all the time, I love having you here, but I'm not sure why you would. Spend your time and go, because there's a lot of people that just niche videos to that. They're all about everything raw, being 100% raw, making all the substitutions, everything. That's cool. That's just not what I'm doing. If you're going to do a 100% raw food diet, though, because I've done it for long stretches of time. I mean, basically when I was living in Costa Rica at the beach, I would be raw for 3 months, come back up to the States. I'd eat a little bit of cooked food while I was here, go back to Costa Rica, drop right back in, eat nothing but raw food. So I have been raw for long periods of time, and so it's not like, oh yeah, I just couldn't handle that raw. Now, one thing it got to be really tough trying to keep weight on, eating fully raw for me. And people, then again too, and that's where I always just I don't even really pay attention. That's when all the voodoo and alchemy comes out. Well, it's because of this and it's because of that. And I'm like, no, I'm pretty healthy. I'm pretty sure I'm absorbing my nutrients. I can see my fingernails grow like crazy. My hair grows like crazy. I just see little signs that things are working. So, but the number one thing I want to say is, if you're trying to do, or if you're going to do a 100% raw food diet, don't get it from the lunatic fringe. Don't be following the lunatic fringe on YouTube. as your main source. You can watch everything. Look, watch everything. It's all interesting. There's all a lot. Everybody's got a lot of stuff, but don't make that your main source. If you're trying to eat a fully raw food diet, because listen, I don't want you to listen to the people or getting your health advice from people that are starving themselves and people that eat a very, very small variety. Like, they're very specific. Oh, I only eat this and this. And they're kind of, if that's what you want to do, very cool. And let me say something. I've done this in the past. If you've watched my channel, you've probably said, well, you've done this. I never here tell you this is an experiment. The experiment could go wrong. It could go wrong at any moment. So things I'm doing, I'm just showing you, this is what I'm eating. This is the progress. This is what I'm doing now. But it could go very wrong. So I'm not advising people to do that. I used to do that, man. When I was in the mountains in Costa Rica, God, I just got lost in mono meals for about 2 months there one time. And I was eating, for about 2 months, I probably was eating like 4 or 5 things. And that was about it. And I was happy, just mowing through tons of mangoes, bananas, pineapples, papayas, and some greens. And that was about it. But we evolve, we change. If you are going to attempt doing a 100% raw food diet, I would really advise you to get your information from a variety of sources and read some sources that are not of the raw part. Just some good straight up stuff on a vegan lifestyle, a plant-based lifestyle. Read the stuff by Esselstyn, read the stuff by Dr. Greger, read the stuff by Brenda Davis. I'll put that plug in again. Man, she should be giving me $1 or $2 here and there. No, but Brenda Davis, Becoming Vegan, Becoming Raw. Those are 2 books that are excellent. You'll get a great education out of that. But there's a lot of other raw books that are good sources. I'm not 80-10-10. And as soon as I mention anything, see, you got the little religious people coming out that they're of particular religious persuasion, so they're either gung-ho, 80-10-10, or they're they hate I'm not like, listen, I'm just talking about as a source. That's a great book. There's a lot of good information in there. I don't do 80-10-10 to like how they do it, but I take a lot of guidelines from 80-10-10, and it's a wonderful book. So get a variety of sources like that and learn a little bit about the actual nutrition. Learn about like what you could be missing. I mean, I don't even like, I would never even respond to that stuff on the supplementation stuff. And once again, not saying my way is necessarily right or I'm right and everybody else is wrong, but ain't nobody going to talk me out of supplementing the things I supplement. I supplement vitamin B12. I supplemented D this summer, and I'm still supplementing it as I'm taking sun, just to kind of build back up. Omega-3, a vegan omega-3 DHA, and what else? Well, that's it. I use some things like I use dulse granules for iodine. I eat some natural things like my pumpkin seeds, hemp seeds, things like that. So I'm supplementing and trying to fill in the gaps there. Once again, your mileage may vary. If you want to do that whole thing, I don't know too many people that are like, I'm about what's in front of me, what I've seen, what is real. If you want to try that fully raw thing, not eating, all that much and not supplementing and only eating a few things and feasting and fasting all the time and constantly cleansing, I put chances of your success rate in the low range. Not saying you won't. Not saying somebody might not pipe up and say, well, I did it. Not very many people do that. So many people fall by the wayside there, and for a lot of different reasons. I heard a friend of mine talking the other day, and she was very right. Too many of these people, and a lot of these fruitarian / fully raw people that are going away and having all these issues that they say, oh, I can't eat like this anymore, I can't eat vegan anymore, it's because they're eating way too much fruit and fat. They're eating way too much fruit and fat. Yeah, I break the rules every once in a while, but I stay within ranges, and those are exceptions. Like, I always get called out, but that's exceptions for me. Like if I put some coconut in with my mango, or if I put some, fat in, a little bit of fat in with the fruit, that's just one snapshot out of my life. That's not something I'm doing on a regular basis. You feel me? I mean, maybe I go on a kick and I'll add some fat to a mango dressing like 2 or 3 days in a row. Then I won't do it again. as I'm standing here talking right now, it's probably been 3 or 4 weeks. I can't think of the last time I did a recipe, you know, that I did that. But once again, that's what's getting people, the people that are doing that every day. They're pounding fruit and they're pounding fat. They're pounding fruit and they're pounding fat. And there's a lot of issues that is a bad combination. There's a lot of issues that people are being stubborn and wanting to be fruitarians. I'm going to be a fruitarian. God dang it, if it kills me. And they can't do it, or they can't do it right now because they're feeding, you know, candida and whatever. And a lot of times they just need to heal their body. And this is the kind of stuff that I've got friends that talk about that, and they're a little bit more adept at it. And I don't understand the science, all the science and stuff there, but I've got friends that have done that. They tried the all fruit thing or the high fruit thing, and even trying as much fruit as me, and it just didn't work. And they had to kind of take care of some of those issues like the candida and whatever. And like I say, that's not an issue I know anything about. Never dealt with it. But yeah, just, and like, that's about enough on the raw. Just real quickly on the vegan cooked food I did a video, pretty much a whole video on this not too long ago, in the last couple of weeks or so. Whole foods. When you're eating cooked food, try to get things in that have as much nutrition in them as possible. Don't just say, okay, well, I'm eating a cooked food today, so I'll eat whatever. I do little things, you know. I'm not saying I don't eat white potatoes, but I always try to eat sweet potatoes instead of white, because those sweet potatoes have a lot of really good nutrition in them. I like things that digest. They also digest because there's the sugar in it. There's more sugar than starch in there. Another one I like, and you know what, Ted Carr was talking about this on Instagram one day. I enjoyed that. I tuned in at just the right time, and he was talking about that. He eats 100% raw, and he's cool, but he's not in your face telling other people they do it. In fact, he said probably if you're trying to gain weight, you're going to need to eat a little bit of cooked food. And he was recommending some of the same things I talk about, like yams, sweet potatoes, other fruit that can be cooked, and I do that too. And that is actually something I had last week when I was short on bananas. I'm probably going to have it in the next couple of days, is sweet potato, plantain. I baked the sweet potatoes, I boiled the plantain, and steamed some greens with that. I mean, sometimes it's the leafy greens, and sometimes it's like a broccoli or Brussels sprouts or something like that. But that's a nice combination, like the greens with those two, and it's stick to you, and it's a good taste, and it's good. It's good. I enjoy that. I mow that stuff down, but good stuff. And like, you know, like I say, and it's once again, it's about budget. You can never mention rice without talking about budget, because rice is cheap. A lot of people need to eat rice. Do what you got to do. I'm not too proud to eat it. I'm just saying, if you have a choice, eat quinoa instead. It's a better, you know, it's just got more nutrition to it. So when I'm eating cooked food, I'm not just saying, okay, I'm just going to eat cooked food to get some warmth and to get some calories. I'm like, all right, how much nutrition can I get in this cooked food? That's what it comes down to, putting the best nutrition we can in our body, not raw versus cooked, not all that, but once again, just like I say, I have somebody asked me something similar that led me into this. I don't even remember what the question was, but I started making notes, and this was the video today. So hope that might help you a little bit. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.